Now for this is my setup to stay comfortable and warm and not too hot for a summer section hike. I've got my hammock. That'd probably be a topic for another video. It's got the whoopee slings plus the straps you see over there. The hammock is like 10 ounces. The suspension to hold the hammock up is maybe another 6 ounces. I've got my tarp, which has doors, covers the whole setup. That's about 10 ounces all rigged up. So really, the hammock is a lightweight setup, extremely comfortable. Love my hammock. One of the challenges with a summer hike in the mountains is on the hottest night, it may only get down to 70 degrees, and it potentially could also get down to, say, 40. So I have to be prepared for a wide range of temperatures. If I just brought a setup that's warm at 40 degrees, I'll be really uncomfortable and sweaty when it's 70 degrees. So I'm still trying to decide exactly what I'll bring on this trip, but I've got this Costco down quilt. It's good for maybe 50 degrees by itself. And one of these days I'll get around to sewing a foot box into it so I can use it more like a top quilt. I sometimes like to bring along this air pad that's a 3/4 length pad. I'll put my backpack underneath it. If I'm sleeping in a shelter, I lay on the pad and then I use the backpack to prop my feet up. And that's a nice, lightweight, comfortable pad. What I'm thinking about doing on this trip is just bringing the pad to put underneath me in the hammock to stay warm and skipping my underquilt. Since we'll probably do a mixture of shelters and hammocks, it's a shame to bring the underquilt along and then not use it. So I've got this Costco quilt, and that'll be great when it's cold. Between the quilt and a hat and putting on other layers, I might be able to get down to 40 degrees with that setup. But for the 70-degree night, I won't use the quilt at all. I'll just use this sleeping bag liner. It's silk. It's like 4 ounces in the bag. That's a nice, really lightweight setup. So I'm thinking I'll do the air pad plus the sleeping bag liner most nights. And that'll work either in the shelter or in the hammock. This is my underquilt. It's a 40-degree underquilt. I love it. It's only 14 ounces. But since I may not be hammocking quite a few nights on this trip, I'm thinking about leaving it, not bringing it along. And if you don't have a nice underquilt like that, and you don't have an air pad, you need something underneath you to stay warm in the hammock. So something as simple as a foam pad like this will get the job done. You can also sleep in the shelter. Now, when you're using a pad in a hammock, the wider the better. If you're a big guy like me, you definitely want something wider so your shoulders are not touching. It's more critical in the winter that you have a good pad under you. But ideally, if you're using a pad in a hammock, you want something 23, 26 inches or wider. A 20-inch pad is a little on the narrow side to really cover your shoulders. A hat can make a difference in staying warm. Keep your head and your feet warm, and you're less likely to get cold. Another trick is if you really got to pee, you're more likely to get cold. Just go ahead and get up, take care of business, and you'll probably stay warmer too. This is all the clothes I will bring for a week-long section hike, with the exception of what I'm wearing. So I think I even have 2 pair of underwear, so I'll take 1 pair out of here and save the others a spare. So 2 pair of socks, 2 pair of underwear, 1 pair of shorts, 2 synthetic shirts. I think here I have a really lightweight merino shirt and a synthetic. And that's pretty much it, plus a rain jacket. The rain jacket will serve the purpose of warmth and, of course, will help with the rain. But if it's hot, I doubt I won't wear the rain jacket. I'll just cool off in that nice rain. I'll probably go ahead and bring along this down vest. I may not need it. It is an extra layer of warmth if it surprises me how cold it gets. But, you know, it fills out my clothing bag nicely and makes for a nice pillow if I'm on the ground. So I'll just put that in my clothing bag and use it as a pillow. So that's more or less my sleep system that will either allow me to camp anywhere hanging between 2 trees or works pretty well sleeping in a shelter. That's not a full-length air pad, so like I said, I take everything on my backpack, put it down at the end, and rest my feet on top of the backpack, and that works pretty well. So I've been happy with that setup. I sleep reasonably well on the ground using it, although I always prefer my hammock.